Presdient-Principal model, first pioneered by Jesuit schools in the 1970s, has become common among Catholic and other faith-based schools. It has helped schools meet the challenges of a changing educational environment. But the model has a few challenges of its own. Hi, I'm Jack Peterson with Managing for Mission. Managing for Mission specializes in administrative and governance consulting for faith-based schools. It used to be that the school head or principal could manage the academic affairs of the institution with a limited relationship with the environment beyond the campus. As the temporal demands on the school have increased, however, it's clear that managing the financial, facilities, fundraising, planning, and community relations aspect of a school are more than a full-time job. Schools have found they need robust leadership that is both inward and outward-facing. Hence, the Presdient-Principal model. The president's role falls into three main areas: mission, presence, and resources. Let's take a moment to look at these three. Mission is the core of who we are as schools. School presidents interpret the official mission statement approved by the board and make it come alive for the school community. They weave it explicitly and implicitly into every decision they make and into their formal and informal communication. They must call themselves, the employees, the students, and other members of the school community to be accountable to that mission. And they must lead the school team in finding the best ways to accomplish it. Second, the president is responsible for securing resources needed for the school to succeed in its work. He or she shares this responsibility with the board as well as the development, finance, and facilities teams. But presidents must be visibly active in attracting the resources so that their colleagues in the classroom can do their job at an optimal level. Finally, the president is responsible for presence. As the chief administrator, he or she is a symbol for the school and what it values. The president's presence at a school or community event, to a grieving family, or to important supporters signals their importance to the school. How the president conducts him or herself among the people who serve or are served by the school puts a human face on its mission and makes it real as nothing else can. The principal, on the other hand, has a unique leadership responsibility for programs, school climate, and faculty development. This is a huge job, really at the heart of what the school does and who the school is. Programs include not only the curriculum, but extracurriculars and student formation. School climate includes the culture, fabric of relationships, and the physical and emotional safety of the students. And professional development includes hiring and evaluating, as well as the personal, professional, and spiritual growth of the faculty, and how they collaborate to create a coherent educational experience for the students. Having said this, the principal also has some responsibility for mission, presence, and resources, but primarily toward the internal community. It's not that the principal is confined to campus, but there's no way that he or she can provide the cura personalis, that is, the care for persons needed by faculty and students, if they must also do that for the broader community. Both are leaders, important leaders in the school, and their leadership will overlap. Each must be a person of vision who is able to exercise authority. But what happens when visions conflict? What happens when the exercise of authority overlaps? When external demands conflict with internal demands? This isn't necessarily all that common, but when it does happen, it can quickly lead to dysfunction that hampers both the president and the principal, as well as the school itself. In some cases, the president and principal will have similar skill sets. The president may have been a principal prior to becoming president, in which case he or she might have strong opinions about curriculum and faculty development. It may be difficult to resist intruding on the domain of the principal to make decisions where the president may feel very confident, perhaps more confident than they are with their newer responsibilities. In other cases, the skill sets may be so divergent that each lacks sufficient understanding and appreciation of the other's role. They rely on each other to do their jobs well, which means they need to understand the other's responsibilities enough to provide appropriate support. The ideal is for the two to recognize that they have complementary jobs and have or are developing complementary skill sets. Presidents must resist micromanaging, even when they're sure they know what decision the principal should make. And principals should resist overstepping their authority, even when they feel they need to respond to the needs of faculty and students. For the president-principal model to work, the approach must be collaborative. Even though the president is ultimately the boss, he or she should want the principal to be a strong leader and have enough respect for the role of the principal that he or she will not simply pull rank at every turn. Research by the Jesuit Schools Network and my own research and experience suggests that the key to a successful president-principal relationship is a high level of mutual trust. And that trust requires regular and open communication. It can also be said that regular and open communication requires trust. And so the president and the principal must give themselves time to foster that trust and communication. As difficult as it is to find that time, it will pay rich dividends for themselves and for everyone who works with them. I believe that an important part of communication is a supportive and consistent evaluation of the principal by the president. It should include an annual evaluation structured to make sure that the president fully appreciates the challenges faced by the principal, as well as his or her accomplishments. It should also assure that the principal understands the appreciation the president has for his or her work, as well as the expectations of the president. But evaluation should include formative feedback, both formal and informal. The story of the woman who asked her husband why he never said he loved her is instructive. His answer was that 40 years ago, when he married her, he told her he loved her, and if anything changed, he'd let her know. Not a great way to strengthen a relationship. Both the president and the principal should complement each other when the other does a good job, and encourage each other when the going gets tough. And it goes beyond that. As two highly visible leaders, they need to support each other publicly. At any public event where one of them is speaking, he or she should take the opportunity to introduce and express confidence in the other. This isn't just a matter of increasing the trust between them, but also increasing the trust in them as the leadership team of the school. If you want more information about best practices for leadership and governance, as well as free templates, tools, and tutorials, visit our website at managingformission.com. And thank you for your efforts to assure that the leadership at your school reflects the unifying, collaborative love that will strengthen its mission. God bless.